Hi families! Welcome to Back to School Night 2021 to 2022. Your student is finally in first grade. I'm so excited to be their teacher this year. So I just wanted to say nice to meet you. My name is Erica Purcell. I'm a Brentwood local. My family has lived in Brentwood for over 30 years, so we are definitely deeply connected to this community. This is just a picture of my family. As you can see, I have a large family and we're all very close and live locally here, and we're all very passionate about serving our community that has given so much to our family over the years. I also grew up on a ranch, so your child is going to definitely learn a fair amount about animals this year. This is just a picture of a few of my pets. This is my horse Malibu and my goat Scooby-Doo and my donkeys Job and Jezebel. So the students will have the opportunity to hear some funny stories about them and learn some animal science throughout the school year. Just a little bit of information about COVID-19 regarding this school year. I know you guys have had so many emails about this, but I just wanted to touch on some important information. All students and staff are required to wear masks indoors. Students are required to bring a mask from home, but will be provided one if they forget one at home. Hand sanitizer is available for all students at all times. Have your child bring a refillable water bottle each day. We're trying to really limit the water fountain use to just kind of limit the spread of germs. Attendance is taken daily. Call the school attendance line if your child is absent or needs to be dismissed early for any reason. This is the attendance line if you need to call. This is just a little screenshot of our daily schedule. So every day we start school at 8:15. We go and we start our morning work, or sometimes we start our day with mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice that teaches students to manage their breathing to help them be more focused in the classroom. At 8:30, we start our math time, and we do that until 9:30. Then we have calendar, and that is followed by our snack recess, which begins at 9:45, and it's a 15-minute break. I strongly encourage parents to pack their child a snack because the students do get hungry during the day, and the snacks are important. We have language arts from 10 to 11:30, then followed by lunch from 11:30 to 12:10. And then from 12:10 to 12:25, I usually do some kind of read aloud each day to expose the children to some reading and some concepts of print. Also, we do writing from 12:45 to 1 o'clock each day, really working right now on holding that pencil correctly, having that nice, beautiful handwriting. And the beginning of the year is mostly going to be focusing on sentence structures. But we will move to more complex writing as the school year goes on. At 1 o'clock to 2, we have our workshop time. And also we have our pack up from 2 to 10. Also not seen on this slide is we also have something each day, which will not be starting for another few weeks, but we have something called Power Period. And this is where all the students, no matter where they are academically, will go to some sort of intervention. So maybe they have an intervention. Basically, the students are grouped based on where they are academically. So they will be with students who are at a similar level as them, and they will work on different concepts to improve them in their classwork. Also, we have our fun special classes that we do weekly. We have library every Monday from 11 to 11:30. Computers are Thursday from 9 to 9:30. And every Friday, I do a Fun Friday activity. And that usually starts around 1:25. And we do art or science or something extra fun that the students can look forward to. So I just want to go a little bit over our standards for the years. We will have one new sound spelling pattern that I will introduce each week. There are 165 high frequency words, also known as sight words, that your child will learn this school year. The first few weeks we will review all of the kindergarten sight words, but then after those 3 weeks we will start our first grade sight words. Learning to master the high-frequency words quickly, accurately, and effortlessly is a critical part of students' development as a fluent, independent readers. There are 4 to 6 new words introduced each week. There's daily practice in class, and there should be daily practice at home, at least 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes per night. Key standards more key standards for language arts. We want our students to know how to apply grade level phonics and decode words. They should be able to read accurately and fluently. Ask and answer questions about the text. This is a great thing to do at home when you're reading out loud to your child. Hey, who was the main character in this story? Or how did this story end? What was the main idea of the story? What was an important key detail you remembered? Or maybe even what was your favorite picture and why was it your favorite picture? Also, we want our students to use correct punctuation, capitalization, and spelling when they are writing. We will work on 3 genres of writing because by the end of first grade, we want your child to be able to write a paragraph. I know it's crazy to believe, but they will do it. We work on narrative writing, opinion writing, and informational writing. The writing process includes a graphic organizer. We do a first draft, we revise and edit, and then we do our final draft, or as we like to call it, we publish our writing. And so students will really take off from the beginning of first grade to the end of first grade. It's a wonderful growth period to watch. Math. So we teach one standard at a time. Some of the key standards, we go over several standards, but I just wanted to include the key standards. We represent and solve problems involving addition and subtraction. We understand and apply properties of operations and relationships between addition and subtraction. We add and subtract within 20. Your child should be able to count to 120 by the end of the school year. Understand place value and use it to add and subtract. So they need to know their ones, tens, and we will do some introduction to the hundredths place, but we will mostly focus on tens and ones. They will learn to tell and write time to the hour and half hour and represent and interpret data. So remember, these are standards for the whole year. So if your child doesn't know all these things now, don't worry, we're going to work on it. Also, they will work on their math packs that will help them with their fluency and their math work. Science. So we use the next generation science standards to focus on critical thinking and problem solving. We use mystery science, and we focus in first grade on plants and animal superpowers. We do the spinning sky projects, and we learn a little bit about light and sounds. So lots to look forward to. As I mentioned, we will do computers and library. Library will be with Mrs. Robles, and we will be exposed to different genres of books, and the students will even get to check out one book when they visit the library with Mrs. Robles, and that book will remain at school in their desk, and I will give them time during class time for them to explore their library book. So I want to talk a little bit about my discipline plan. So I have definitely more of a positive, encouraging approach. Each day we start our day with a class cheer, and I'm going to teach you the words to our class cheer. So it's rule number 1, and we do some hand motions that go with it. It's rule number 1, follow directions quickly. Rule number 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule number 3, make smart choices. Rule number 4, be honest and be kind. And rule number 5, keep your dear teacher happy. So we will say that class cheer every day just to keep us reminded of what the class expectations are. Some of my positive consequences include our clipping up to outstanding. I will explain the clip chart a little bit later, but clipping up to outstanding to earn a prize. I have a class marble jar. If the students fill up my class marble jar, they earn a class party. Later, we will introduce table points later in the school year. And also verbal praise. I'm all about encouraging students, teaching them growth mindset. Every Friday we do, like I said earlier, we do a Fun Friday activity, and sometimes I'll give students incentives to earn an extra Fun Friday activity, maybe like a guest artist coming to our class, something special such as that. Some of my negative consequences, which I only get, obviously if a student is not following one of my class rules, are clipping down on my clip down chart, maybe time to cool down, maybe taking a step back from an activity, missing out on a privilege like such as Fun Friday. And obviously this last one is something I typically do not like to do unless it's for a very serious circumstance, but a referral or administration involvement. Behavior and clip chart. So as I mentioned earlier, I have a clip chart and I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. But all the students will have a clip chart, and there's like a little clothespin on the side of it, and there's different colors on this chart, and each color means something different. You always want to start the day on green. Green means ready to learn. Everyone starts the day on green. Everyone is ready to go. We always start on a positive day. No matter what color you were on yesterday, you start each day ready to learn. You can clip up to good job or clip up again to great job. If you get all the way clipped up to pink, you are rewarded for being an outstanding student that day. If your child didn't clip up that day, that's okay. That just meant that they were doing everything they should be doing. But clipping up means maybe you did something extra to really impress Miss Purcell, like really going out of your way to help a classmate, or using extra good manners when we had a visitor, or maybe you went out of your way to clean up and tidy our classroom without someone having to remind you. So those are kind of some of the things I'm looking for to have a student clip up. And I definitely like to use clipping up far more than I do clip down. So if you clip down to yellow, that means that you need to make a better choice. It's kind of my warning color. Clipping down to orange is teacher's choice. My consequence always matches the action. So if you made a mess, your consequence on orange is going to be you cleaning it up. If you are unkind to a friend, maybe you're writing an apology letter. And then if you clip down to red, that will be parent contact and perhaps administrative contact. This is what our clip chart looks like, just to give you a better visual. So here's those clothespins. We all start on ready to learn. You want to start and finish your day on green. That is our goal every day. Clipping up is always a bonus. At the end of the day, we will color in what color we are on our color chart. This is our behavior chart. It will come home every single day, and you can check to see how your child finished your day. This is your way to communicate with me. So you will initial here to say that you have seen what your child's color was of the day, and this lets me know that you're in communication with me on what your child's behavior was. And I will write a comment here, and you can even write a comment back to me if you have any questions, or you can send me an email if you prefer not to write a comment. And this is just our way to support our first graders being awesome individuals, because teaching kindness is really important in my class setting. So I want to talk a little bit about my homework policy. I strongly believe in the power of play and the importance of letting children be children. Further research does not indicate significant benefits of homework at the elementary level. I believe that when students give me their best all day, they deserve to have their night. Therefore, I have eliminated majority of the homework. The items that remain are what I feel are the most important and beneficial in helping your child to be successful in their education. I have really stripped down the homework to the essentials. Family time and playtime, I think, are critical to development at this age. We do a lot of hard work in my classroom, so I want my students to have time to decompress at home. There will be some homework and some practice, but it will be limited. This is basically my homework process is I expect my students to show their parents the newsletter weekly. We will have a periodic monthly family project. Our first one will be our mini-me's due on September 10th. Those will be sent home starting next week. And it's basically just like a little gingerbread shaped cutout where they get to decorate it where it looks like themselves, and they can decorate it any way they want, and they have a month to complete it. So they're very fun, simple family projects such as that. Students will be expected to read 10 minutes nightly. I will have a reading log that you will sign. You can read to them, or the child can read to you. I really encourage you to have your child practice reading at this stage, practicing their high frequency words nightly. Reviewing their spelling pretest. Every Monday we take a spelling pretest in class of whatever words we're working on that week. So you should be practicing words they missed on their pretest so they're ready for that Friday spelling test in class with me. We will not start those spelling tests though for another few weeks. So if you don't see the pretest in their backpack, I will email the families when we start taking the spelling tests. Also, any unfinished classwork. If your student chose not to do their classwork, then I will send it home for them to do for homework. Also, they need to have their behavior chart signed, and homework is assigned on Mondays and due on Friday. If there's ever some issues with that, just please email me. I know sometimes there are circumstances where something can't get done. Maybe there was a family emergency. Just be in communication with me, and we can be flexible if needed. High frequency words. So we have 165 high frequency words we will learn this week. They will be introduced to 4 to 6 words weekly. We will do daily practice in class, and you will do daily practice at home. I encourage you to work on one list at a time, which means you're only working on 4 to 6 words per week. And we will assess the students on their high frequency words at school. I will try to keep parents posted on what list their child is working on, and those assessments will start in the coming weeks. So we have something called the Pride Binder and our cult folders. We're going to play this little video, and that's going to kind of introduce you what those Pride Binders are. Hi parents, this is our Pioneer Pride Binder. Your student will get one of these starting in a few weeks. So if you don't see it, come home with them on Wednesday. Don't be worried. We haven't passed them out yet. So this is our binder that we will be using to keep track of all of our homework and assessment results that are going home. So let's just take a peek inside of the Pride Binder. So every Pride Binder will have a pocket folder inside of it, and this is where I will put any assessments or finished work that is going home with the student. This is where I will also put unfinished work. So if a student did not complete an assignment in class, you can find it in their folder inside of their binder. These are the binder rules that you will be able to go over with your child, and it's basically saying that they're responsible for bringing their binder to and from school every day. They need to be responsible for taking care of their binder, keeping it neat, being respectful to the binder rules. This is also where I will keep the behavior chart. Every single day, your child will color in whatever color they were on the behavior chart, and then they will come home and you will sign it, and sometimes I may or may not write a comment. We always want to finish each day on green or better, and this is just a way for us to communicate your child's behavior. In the binder, you will also find various ways for your child to practice their spelling and high frequency words. There are fun games and little activities that just make the practice more enjoyable and fun. There will also be a 120 chart in there, because by the end of the school year, your child should be able to write and count out loud to 120. So this is just a good board to have at home and available. This is an area where your child can practice tracing letters if maybe they need to work on their penmanship. And then this is also a 120 chart that they can practice filling in at home. And just again, a reminder, this binder comes to school every single day, and your child will keep this in their cubby. This is how work will come to school every single day. This is our red Pioneer Cult folder. Now this will go home on Friday and will be returned to school on Mondays. And this is where our more permission slips and more parent forms will be. So it will say leave at home or bring back to school. And this is where you might find a permission slip for a field trip or something, a contact form from the office that needs to be filled out. So these will be sent home weekly, and the binder is daily. You will also be able to find my newsletter in the Pride Binder. The newsletter will have the homework listed, what sight words we're working on, what math standards that we're working on that week, just so you can be informed of what's going on week to week in the class. And the newsletter is changed weekly. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so just again, I know it was already mentioned in the video, but just a reminder that Pride Binder comes to school daily, and then Colt folders go out Friday and come back on Monday. Moving on, so we do some oral sharing in our classroom. We do weekly sharing. Each student will share once a week, and you'll have a designated sharing day. I will send out later in the school year what day your child will be sharing each week. So maybe your child will be every Monday or every Tuesday, and you will find out that list later in the year. We will do, we use a special sharing that helps them with their writing and their detailed writing. I use a special strategy called 5-finger sharing, and I will teach that in the classroom. It's your first finger is an introduction, the next 3 fingers are your 3 details, and then your last finger, we call it you wrap it up, and it teaches them a conclusion. This strategy really helps with their writing, and it's definitely guided. I really coach them through it. Starting on 8/16, so August 16th, we're going to start a process called brown bag sharing. The students will be given a brown bag, and they will put 5 things inside of them that represent themselves, and they will share them with the class. That will be their first sharing assignment, so that's something that you can start thinking about. I will be sending out a schedule for that in the coming weeks. Odds and ends. So we have the Pioneer Colt folders. They come home Thursday, and they were, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. They come home on Friday, and they're returned on Monday. Notes from the office are sent electronically via email unless you opt out of them. We have a Star of the Week poster each week. There will be a Star of the Week, and there will be a poster that I will give your child for them to decorate, and they'll get to share with the class on Fridays. Parent volunteers. I know many parents are eager to volunteer, which is just such a blessing that we have so many families that want to help. I'm so grateful, and I really want to get families involved in the classroom. I love having parent community. I think it's so important to our growth. Right now, however, I do not have any information from our school about how volunteers will work. They're still ironing out some of the details. The only detail I do know is that you will be required to be vaccinated, and you will need to provide proof of being vaccinated to be a volunteer in the classroom. When I find out further details, I will send you that information. Keeping in touch, please feel free to get a hold of me for any reason. This is my class email. Please allow me 1 to 2 business days to reply. I have the school phone. This is my extension. You can make an appointment with me before and after school where we can have a discussion. And I also just want parents to note that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you will not see the Pride Binder go home. It'll take a few weeks for us to get the Pride Binder together and homework. We're not really focusing, none of the first grade teachers are really focusing on homework right now. The only homework you should really be doing at home right now is reading to your child. I will be sending out emails, and you'll be seeing things in your child's backpack when we start introducing more homework. But our district is really focused on social emotional learning in these first few weeks and review, because obviously there was a lot of changes during COVID and distance learning, and we're really working on 1, getting students more caught up, and 2, getting adjusted to this new routine and all the changes in school. So that's really my primary focus, and definitely building classroom community, building friendships, building relationships, teaching students how we behave in a classroom, and building connections. I'm really enjoying getting to know your child, and my families in this classroom are very important to me. We're all one big family in here, and please feel free to come to me with any issues or concerns. I'm more than happy to support, and I'm just so excited to partner with you on your child's learning. It is truly a blessing to me to be your child's teacher. This has been a long-term career goal for me. I have been working in the Brentwood School District for many years now, and I just can't wait to see how we're all going to grow this school year. And thank you. Please email me with any questions.